Hello students, this is Aruna. Welcome to CBSE Social. In this video, you are going to learn the chapter Globalization, Economics chapter. So globalization, from this chapter, you will get questions for 5 marks. If you prepare this chapter, definitely you will get 5 marks in your board exam, 10th board exam. Okay, let us start. MNC. So here you may get question MNC, expand MNC, multinational corporation. Expansion of MNC is multinational corporation. Then what is this? MNC is a company that owns and controls production in more than one nation. So if any country it establishes its company in other countries and it produces from those countries, then that company is called MNC. Is it clear? Then until the middle 20th century, production was organized within countries. So first of all, we should know the years in 20th century. So 20th century 1900 to 1999, this period was called 20th century. So here until the middle of 20th century, it means until 1950, production was organized within countries. It means until 1950 production was restricted. There were so many restrictions on international trade, and it was not easy for other countries to establish their companies in our country, or our industries they could not establish their industries in other countries. There were so many restrictions on international trade until middle 20th century, middle of 20th century. So on this point you may get question like this: until which century production was organized within countries? Middle of 20th century. Let us move. Trade was the main channel connecting distant countries. Which was the main channel connecting distant countries in globalization? Trade. Okay. Then spreading of production by an MNC. Spreading of production by an MNC. So what is, you understood what is MNC. Then, so first, how MNCs, they establish their production in other countries. Some ways are there. Production of industrial equipment. So one example was given here in your textbook. It is given how MNCs spread their production. So here production, one example we have taken industrial equipment. So making industrial equipment, machineries, making machineries. So design was taken place in USA, and after designing, and which machine has to be designed, has to be manufactured, that design was made in USA. Then components, for to make one machine we need so many components. So those components are manufactured in China. So why China was selected to manufacture components? Because in China cheap labor was available. And after making components, after manufacturing components, all the components are to be assembled to make one machine. So that assembling process was done in Mexico and Eastern Europe. So why these components were transported to Mexico and Eastern Europe? Because it is very close to the markets. Those areas are very close to the markets. So it was easy to transport missions to the markets. Okay. And the customer care center, they set up in India. India was elected to set up customer care centers. because in India, educated English speaking youth is more. That is why they selected this country to establish customer care centers. So, what is the use of customer care center? For example, if we buy any good, if it is a defect good, then we have to consult someone to get compensation, right? So customer care, so if communication is good, then we could get some solution for that. Okay. This is how MNCs they spread their production. To tell this example we have taken. Okay. So production to make one mission, this work was done in different countries. Okay. Then next, MNC goods and services. In the next in this concept, you're going to learn what is MNC. Okay, so if you get question about MNC, you can write any of the points of these. Okay, then what is MNC? Goods and services produced globally. Already we learned what is MNC in the first point. We learned. So what is MNC? It organized production in more than 2 countries. Okay, more than 2 countries. Then uh, now we can write, based on that point we can write some of the points. So how can we write these points? See, production is complex. Production is complex. It means we can produce goods in different countries, MNCs, and there are no restrictions for companies to manufacture goods. And location. So where MNCs they locate their industries? Where cheap labor is available, because to cut cost and availability of 4 factors: land, labor, water, and organizer. These are the production factors. So if all these factors available in one place, that place they choose to establish their company. Okay, these are called locational factors. Okay, so what are the locational factors of MNC? If you get that question, you have to write these points, these 3 points, because 3 marks question, one question you will get in the board exam, right? So only 3 points are enough to write. Then so what are the benefits local companies get by MNCs? So MNCs they establish their companies in different countries. We know that. So because of MNCs, local companies, do they get any benefit? That is the question. So for this also we have to write 3 points for three to get 3 marks, right? Then let us see what benefits they get. So benefits local companies they get additional investment. MNCs they invest their money in these companies, and MNCs they bring new technology, latest technology, because it organizes production in more than 2 countries. So wherever new technology is there, it can adopt. Okay, it is very accessible. Latest technology is accessible to MNCs only, because they knew well about the technology, and the technology they introduce in local companies also. They can introduce in local companies also, and by using that latest technology, local companies can produce goods very in faster manner. Okay, these are the benefits local companies they get by MNCs. Then ways to spread MNCs production. First of all, what is the link between local companies and MNCs? So MNC, for example, one MNC company, for American based one company, it established in India. So what is the link between local company, how local company they get benefit from that USA company? If it ties up with local company, then only they get benefit from these MNCs. Okay, so MNCs, they establish their production units in different countries, I said. So how they enter into other countries, what ways they use to enter in other country, into other countries, to set up their production, let us see. First way, buying local companies. So buying local companies is very easy. If any company is in loss, then easily MNC they come and buy these companies, and like that they maintain relation with the local company. And for example, American MNC Cargill Foods, they bought Indian company Parak Foods. So what was the importance of Parak Foods in India? In Parak Foods has a large market, and it has 4 oil refineries. So it bought uh, Parak Foods. Which company bought Parak Foods in India? MNC, American MNC Cargill Foods company bought Parak Foods. And next way to enter into other countries, by placing orders for production with small producers. It means small producers, they manufacture goods for other companies. So they manufacture goods. For example, take garments and footwear. So for example, company, take garment company. So it makes a shirt. Okay, and this shirt MNC, it gives order to the local company to make shirts. These shirts, after making these shirts, local company, it sells to MNC, it gives to MNC. And MNC company, what it does, it takes these garments, and they sell these garments with their brand name in other countries. They charge more rate, like that they get benefits. Okay, and next point, by setting up partnership with local companies. Partnership with local companies. So we are discussing how MNCs enter into other countries, what ways they use. First way, buying up local companies. Second way, by placing orders. Third way, by setting up partnership with local companies. Partnership with local companies. How it maintain partnership, or how which circumstances lead to maintain partnership with other countries. Let us see. Ford Motors. We have taken example Ford Motors, American MNC it is. So American MNC Ford Motors, what it did, it took partnership with Mahindra and Mahindra. So Mahindra and Mahindra, it is a company in India, and automobile company it is, Mahindra and Mahindra. So here Ford Motor also automobile manufacturer, American MNC it is, and it has units in 26 countries. It is a big MNC, and it entered into India in 1995. Then collaborated with made partnership with Mahindra and Mahindra, and then 1700 crore rupees it invested in India, and it manufactured cars, and some cars they sold in Indian market, and the remaining cars they exported to other countries. Okay, so here you may get question, what are the ways MNCs they follow to set up their production units in other countries. 3 points you have to write. Remember this, 3 marks question only you will get from this chapter, and 1 mark questions also you will get if you read this chapter. Automatically you will answer MNCs objective type questions. So buying question is ways to spread MNC's production in other countries. Buying local companies, and buying by placing orders with small producers, and by setting up partnership. 3 points you should remember. Remember in 3 words: buying local companies, placing orders, and partnership. Remember these 3 points. Then you can make sentences. Then if you get question about Ford Motors, what is the role of Ford Motors in globalization, in globalization? First point you should write, Ford Motors is a automobile manufacturer, American MNC. It manufactured car, and it made partnership with Mahindra and Mahindra. These points you have to write. Then next question, why did Ford Motors want to develop Ford in India as a component supplying base for its other plants across globe? Explain. Why it selected India to manufacture cars? Simple. Because India knows how to produce components, so they could be easily manufactured and sent across globe. This is the reason. Okay. And what are the advantages of MNCs? Till now we learn what is MNC, and what is the role of MNC, and how it enters into other countries. And in these concepts we have taken some examples like Ford Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra, Cargill Foods, and Parak Foods. These we mention in these concepts. Now what are the advantages of MNCs? So MNCs advantages, actually 3 points only you have to write. For producers, one type of advantage, and for consumers, one type of an advantage they have. Okay, so let us see what are those. So here MNC, it creates an opportunity for the producers to reach beyond the domestic market. So if you have capacity to establish one unit, your company unit in other countries, you will get that market also. So beyond the domestic market, not only domestic markets, MNCs can sell their goods in international market also, and producers can sell their produce in international market, and buyers what is the use of these MNCs to the buyers? Because we have more choice, we'll have more choice of goods. Okay, and when we'll have more choice of goods, what benefit we will get? We can bargain, we will have a bargaining capacity, because there is because of competition among the sellers, buyers will get benefit from competition among the sellers. Then let us move to another question. How does foreign trade integrate the markets of different countries? So how does foreign trade integrate the markets of different countries? To this question, these 3 points are enough to write. So how it integrates? Integrates means getting close. Integrates the markets of different countries. To this question, these 3 points are enough to write. Okay. Then what is investment and foreign investment? What is the difference between these two? If you have money, then you buy, if you want to buy any building, it means you are going to invest your money on buying building. That is investment. If MNC invest in our any country, then what would happen? That would become foreign investment. If MNC investment made by MNC is called foreign investment. Is it clear? Then and foreign trade and international trade. So foreign trade and international trade. Foreign trade and international trade same meaning. but they have same meaning. But here, what is foreign trade? Exchanging goods and capitals and services across international borders is called foreign trade. And what is globalization then? So globalization means process of interconnection and integrating between countries. Interconnection and integration between countries. Through globalization process, we connect the countries by trading, by supplying goods and services like that. We connect the countries. That is called globalization. And ways in which countries can be linked. So on which ways are there to link the countries? So movement of goods they move from one place to another place, like that we connect the countries. And capital also moves, capital and investment both are same. And investment, actually investment also come under capital, and capital missions also come under capital. And capital investment they move between the countries, and technology also move, and even people also move between the countries. Okay, so why people move to other countries then? Why people move to other countries? In search of better income and better jobs and better education. So to get better opportunities, people they move to other countries. Then factors that have enabled globalization. Which factors enable globalization? So in these points are 1 mark questions. Okay, what is investment? Investment, if you buy something with your money, that is called investment. And if MNC make any investment, that is called foreign investment. And foreign trade and international trade, exchanging goods across international border is called foreign trade. And globalization means interconnecting the countries is called globalization. And how we can connect the countries by moving goods, capital, investment, technology and people. And why people they move? Actually they move to get better opportunities. Okay, then what factors enable globalization? So to make success globalization, what factors will help? If technology only helping technology, it helps to enable globalization. Rapid improvement in technology, this is 3 marks question, so 3 points are enough. So rapid improvement in technology, so what technology they are using? For example, they are using containers. So containers are used to loading the goods at ports or uh, at airports. They use these containers to load goods. Okay, then other point is information technology, internet we use. So internet, why do we use? uh, we can connect the people, we can contact the people globally. And we can share our information. And email, we use email also. Okay, and we can make payments also through internet banking. So when we have all these facilities, it is easy to us to trade with other countries, right? Then on this you may get question like this: technology was stimulated the globalization process, explain. Or which factors enable the globalization process? For these questions you have to write these 3 points, right? Okay, next part of this chapter we'll see in the next video. Thank you.